ngena ngo-7 ekuseni uphume ngo-10 ebusuku iviki lonke uhole bani 250 rand
For the whole week?
Yeah, we don't have a money problem. There is money. We have a lot of money, but the money never gets to what it's supposed to do. And he took the camera system, the security system, and installed the security system, which is supposed to be a government property, in his property, and he's being accused of that. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I have the cameras. They came and installed them. Yeah, they're there in my place." Like, how many hurdles you have to jump to start a business in African countries? My man, there's millions of people who do not understand anything about politics. To them, politics is a t-shirt and going to the beach in Durban. You have millions that are unemployed. That's gold for another country. Do you ever feel like, maybe ever, because you've always had your hair like for the most part like this, right? Have you ever felt like your hair maybe ever contributed slightly? You had this hair ever since I knew you. I've never known you without this hair, right? Have you ever felt like maybe your hair, like especially when you make it like that, like to be an afro go up, maybe somehow was like, I don't know, results with someone being racist towards you, or you felt like someone were being prejudiced and looking at you as the black guy because you have hair like that? Have you ever felt that? Or maybe you are in an interview and you feel like something, or like somewhere that maybe someone is discriminatory towards you because of your hair. Have you ever felt that?
Actually, I don't think so. I don't think so for me. I mean, I've watched things like that happen. You know, when people are like, don't touch my hair, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that never happened to me. Of course, I mean, a little bit when you come here, you know, people would want to do it. But in terms of in a professional setting, I don't think it has ever happened. Because, I mean, I let my hair grow after high school. Because, I mean, in high school...
Nobody was everyone was black in your high school, though.
But you're not allowed to have big hair as a guy, because the teacher, is scared.
Yeah, I know those things, of course.
So, yeah, I started leaving it after that for the one purpose that I always mentioned. I mentioned it yesterday when Ulo Coach D was unbraiding it, that my dream was to be able to do this, just to flick it back. And she laughed at me. It's like, my hair can never do that because it goes up instead of going down, so I can never flick it. So no, not for me. Not for me. I don't think so. Why are you bringing this up? What? Because of pushing the hair? No, because
for some reason I feel like, at least maybe even if a person doesn't, I feel like I would feel that if I had hair like yours, like Uti.
They're gonna be.
Yeah, like, or if.
Something like.
Yeah.
Prejudiced, mental.
Yeah, type of thing, because your hair, as you know how. Now I nearly mentioned names. I don't like mentioning names, but I'm Kumbulu Muntu who had hair like that back at home, right? And she told me about the hair, like Guti, like how she, because of the background and where she went through, like to some schools that they went to. I mean, it's like a feminist type of vibe, those vibes, right? So she's like, almost the hair ended up defining like her, like, her being a feminist and stuff like that, because of how the like white schools they went to, it was being discouraged, to have hair like that and all those type of stuff. So then it's almost like having the hair then became like almost a protest. And then she ended up falling in love with the hair. Hence, we knew her to be like that with her hair, I was like, yeah. So to her hair is always like that. Even now, she's still like that. Yeah, because she ended up becoming like part of her identity, and because of what she had to fight to have the hair like that, So it's almost like her hair basically was like, because you know when you are being told about Ushi, you were saying for an example, but then in this case you are being told about the hair being unprofessional and stuff like that. Trevor Noah shares this where he says actually he ended up having to question himself, hence having to keep the hair that he had in the Daily Show at the end, because when the show started opening and they had to go back to office, and he was like, okay, I need to cut my hair, find a barber, you know, so that I look good, professional. So, and he's like, wait a minute, what the fuck, bro? Like, what is professional hair?
No, but it's weird because there was a time when there was a whole thing when you actually, when you go to Google and you Google
hair unprofessional hair, they show black hair.
All black hair,
they'll be dirty and unprofessional.
They will show that. But when you show good hair, you will show all like nice cut white hair and people, so I get what he was going through.
Yeah, hence ngibuza ukuthi mina, for example, interview, you've never felt like a prejudice like that. Given the history also, you know, with that.
I mean, do you remember, because in PMP there was a whole thing that started. It was a high school girl who started the movement, apparently because they were discriminating against her hair. Remember the case? It just blew up. We were still in varsity.
No.
It blew up. Penny and all these things about her and all these things, and then she started a movement based on the idea of the hair, because they didn't want her to have her afro. They said it's unprofessional.
They said her afro is unprofessional.
In a school setting.
I mean, it's always, you know, to me at least that's what I would have like assumed, because I feel like it's always the thing that will stand out to in most, you know, settings.
Is that why you cut your hair?
No, actually, to be honest with you, the reason I cut my the other day, when I was trying to keep my hair, right, before I went home, I think. You know why I was trying to keep it? It's because, like, dog, it's so weird how uncomfortable I feel now with my hair. Uncomfortable isn't like uncomfortable in the head, like when I have hair, when I keep hair, like I feel the uncomfortability. And then masen kundile, like for example, njoban kundile, yo, man geza, bro, the relief. It's like, damn. But now I was asking myself, I used to have like a fade so long you kids at end, you know, why can't I? Why didn't? That was my thing. I mean, having a fade was like my thing, bro. Like I had a fade. I even did about mohawk when we were doing mohawks. Like why now? Why is it like sengifila nje ngenakuza like ngenwele zami? Why zikanje? Like literally it feel uncomfortable. But nganotice angazi noma ukuthi mhlawumbe ngoba sengaqala emva ukuthi ngiqala ukugunda, ngajwayela ukugunda or something. But it's literally painful to have hair now. For me, it's not just painful, it's like uncomfortable. Even worse in the summer, actually. I feel even worse. Mawi summer, Jesus Christ. But
also, I mean, probably because also you sweat a lot. So
exactly, yeah. Because it's easy for me to hey, you always actually that's what I'm saying in the summer, especially in the summer, my hair and vele manzi inwele and mausu let's say something from me inwele. See, that's the thing. That's what happened. And then I started noticing I feel more comfortable like when I cut my hair. I mean, I've never had like hair that big though. Obviously, like it was never. I had hair like big, but not. I never like, you know, kept it for so long. And my hair grows up very fast, as you know. But I've never had to or thought of like keeping it so long. You know, by the way, when I was thinking, you were saying, and Jobat, you said with him. Let's shoot a podcast and after I called you today, I was thinking about something that I just watched. That's why I'm laughing because it's like so many things. I don't know is it because we are getting older and we are bombarded with information that now we know so much, you know, and we're exposed to so much with the internet and stuff like that, you know. But bro, there's so much things that as a kid I would have never believed like ever in my life that it was even possible, and like stupid shit, like not even serious thing, right? So today I'm on Facebook, right? And then I scroll down to my Facebook, could come give video, it's a fight now, right? Bruh, in these fights, it's like those things. It wasn't UFC, but it's like an MMA fight, okay. You know, in a cage, And the reason I don't usually watch those things unless it's people like easy, people who are famous, you know, Adesanya, I mean. So then I just pressed the fight because in these fights there was like and it's a guy with a small arm. Yeah, boy, he doesn't have an arm, so his arm is like cut from here. You understand? Yeah, boy. Yeah. So when I see him, I'm like, so there's like Paralympics type of vibe now in MMA. You understand? But then I'm like, wait a minute. The guy he's fighting, he has all his limbs. And there's an MMA fighter, and he's fighting niggas with full body parts, bro. Like, bruh, exactly. That's what I thought. When I saw the video, that's what I thought. I don't know why I didn't tag you, actually. I'm like, what the fuck, bruh? This guy, here, his arm, you know. And basically, ulong is sandle soto, marashan and nan. But get close to this nigga, he will punch you with the other shit, right? Yes, bruh. Yes, bruh.
The world is a funny
But wait, bro. This guy fucking wins this shit. Yes, this guy beat up the guy with both hands.
What the fuck?
This is it's not like it's a professional fight, like an MMA fight, like a professional fight, cage, full stand, like kwele, bruh. Professional fight. The guy with one arm goes out and beats the guy with two arms, right? I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, bruh, what the fuck is going on? Yes, I'm thinking to myself, yo, bruh, what the fuck is going on in the world? Like, what the hell is going on? Like, bruh, like, are we in that, like, are we in that state? I don't know what's going on. We just like this, like, bruh, how is this? How are these things? And in Kabanguti, how we are, like, we're so bombarded with information. Like, everything we just let go now. Like, we just, you know, I just washed the guy. So, yeah, manje, then I'm taking a shower. I'm thinking, I'm like, so I just washed the guy with one arm, fuck up a nigga with both arms. Not in the hood, in a professional fight. Bro, do you know what the funny part? The guy with one arm has about 13-1 fight. So they're like 12 niggas this guy fucked up. I don't know, but as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, I'm like, hey, I'm showing what's going on, bro. Like, so you want to tell me this whole time there's a guy with one arm fucking up like professional fighters? This is not just a regular person in the hood. Ushama professional with two arms. He has like 13-1. Like, so he beats up. Like, he beats up people with two arms. Like, that's his thing. Like, I'm thinking, like, bro, as we live in a crazy world. The reason I'm saying we live in a crazy world the most, though, I'm thinking, like, back in the days around 2000, you know, that's what would be like a story. That would be a big thing. But now we are so bombarded with so much information. Like, that's not even a thing. There's just too many things happening. That's not even a thing anymore. Like, that's not even a thing that would be like, you know, a big thing. Like, literally, you just have a guy with one arm whipping up all these professionals with two arms. And it's just not even a thing now.
Yeah, because sometimes, like, probably 2 minutes later, something more crazy is happening. And after you finish that, another crazy thing is happening. So it's just access internet. That's basically that's done.
I like the fact actually that you are saying that, because after I watched that video, I saw the video of which is something I don't want to talk about because I realize how much I get frustrated when I talk about it as much. I saw the video of US dropping aid in Israel, not Israel, in Gaza, like to help the people of Gaza. And then those people ran to get the aid, of course. America drop lapha flights, we actually aid the and stuff, food packages and medication and whatnot. And then people started running to get the food. When they were running to get the food, Israel just bombed. Like, as soon as they all were there, they just shot at them. Like,
Right there with
Right there, when they were there getting the food, yeah. Shot at them and like literally. And then it's in the news and stuff like that. The reason I don't, like, to me, it's like, what is the point? Like, what the, you remember last time where I kept saying, what the fuck are you gonna do about it? It's not a fucking thing. That's right. There's nothing you would do about it. So you can say as much as you want to say. What are you gonna do? That's the world you live in, bro. Like, yeah, niggas with real power will kill someone in front of you now. Also, it's not a fucking thing you can do, dog. Everyone's the next, bro. Nothing, dog. They can kill anyone they wanna kill. They can do whatever they want to do. Like, hence I'm saying it's like numbness now. Who cares? Like, what's gonna happen? Because right now everything now should matter only if it's touching you, you know, your life, your thing. Otherwise, what are you gonna do exactly? You know, I end. So you sit there in your podcast or whatnot, talk about it. Now, then what? There's nothing you can do. And it's not like, because the reason I'm saying this so much is because it's not like you are raising awareness. It's something that people don't know. You know, everybody knows it's what they're doing. We're killing them. Everybody knows that. Yeah, it's like, what are you gonna do about it? Yeah.
I mean, no silence anymore, but still.
Yeah, of course. What are you gonna do about it? It's not a thing, bro.
Yeah, man, is that the plant that we gave you?
Yeah.
Is it dead?
Buddy, we went on July holiday, summer. Everything died.
Damn.
It died.
I wonder how mine survived. I don't know.
Mm.
This mine was just made for indoors.
Mm.
Oh, July, that time.
We were going for it.
Like
1 month and 20 days. No, 8 days.
Makes sense. Yeah, man, yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do, bro. Yeah, hey. No, you need to check out that guy. Actually, I'm searching, but because I figured that I'm sure if you just search, for sure it's gonna come up. Because I mean,
we will be popping up there. I mean, while you're speaking, I mean, let me see actually to see his name.
It just say MMA fighter with like a small arm or something like that. And see what it record like a teen man, because they are recording the level Amazon Kali fight. That's his 12-1, something like that.
Nick Newell. I think his name is Nick Newell.
Mm-hmm.
There he is. He's there. He's actually Nick Notorious Newell.
Mm-hmm.
He's got knockouts.
No, he does.
This man has knocked out people.
Yeah, with one arm. He knocks out people with, you know, but you know what?
But guess when you know your thing, you know your thing.
Yeah, but do you know what he said though? But see, well, at least the guys, the commentators said. But see, when they asked him about the arm thing, Uti, I know many people see it as a disadvantage, but actually in a fight it usually becomes an advantage for him. Because when fighters grapple, they grapple with someone with another arm. Manje, because he doesn't have the left arm, they struggle with his other side. Where you would assume that they should do better. That's where they struggle, because they can't hold the other arm.
Yeah, it's
so
slippery.
Yeah, and also because when we were here close by, because you can't hold the whole thing, so of a lot, with the thing.
Bro,
he hits you with that thing. Exactly.
He's hitting them with his arm.
Yeah.
And most of the parts,
yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Damn.
That's crazy, bro.
When you know your thing, you know your thing. Okay.
It's in record lag.
Actually, let me see his record. Newell. Let's see his record. He's 37.
Yo, there's a lot of fine. Oh, he's 37 years. Yeah, he's grown.
16 wins and 4 losses.
I mean, I should say fight living in I mean, so 13-1 or something like that. If not 13-2, but this was something like that. Yeah, man. Hey, we wanted to talk about like how shit is like in SA actually. You know, before that, I want to play you something. As if it's the right one. Ngikhuluma nalo mjitha ke. Hey Zol. Hey here.
Abona kuyabheda lapha. Because mangihlala khona kumele ngihlanganise imali yokudla. Lo 350 ngeke ukhave lutho. Yabo mengingahlali khona kumele ngihlanganise futhi imali yokugibela. Yabo 150 imali yokugibela mengihamba ngebhasi. Manje ngeke fana ngibona ngcono ngiyeke. Sovuka kwenye indawo. Iyangiqhuma le. Hey please lapha sebenza too much please kodwa imali yakho incane. Ngina ngo7 ekuseni uphuma ngo10 ebusuku. Nje uhola u350.
Bangena ngo7 ekuseni baphuma ngo10 ebusuku. Bahola u350 exactly. Cabanga bro, cabanga. Ngena ngo7 ekuseni uphume ngo10 ebusuku iviki lonke. Uhole bani 350 rand.
For the whole week?
Yeah.
Not even for a day?
No. For the whole week. For a day, JC, if it's for the day, he was not gonna get that job. You are able for a day. If 350 for a day in SA, how he was not gonna get that job? Because that's where people would be. That's where everyone would work. Can you imagine? No West Coast, he's pushing a week. Or hold 350 the first week, or hold the second week. So 2 weeks, goes a whole 250. And then 7 epumu 10 Monday to Friday. And he came up with a plan. No, he's not gonna go back home.
Yeah.
Now the problem is food. La bala la corner lap. There's no food. You have to get yourself food.
Collaborate work. They can collaborate with the other gang.
Yeah, but but he didn't know the guys as much. But that's what he's saying.
Yeah, I think that will be effective. I mean, so that means for whole this man was just working. Imagine, does he still have that leverage that he had? Because he started this whole movement.
Yeah, unai. Actually, they have a place now to sleep. But the problem, food. Because then if you have a place to sleep, you are sleeping at work. Then what are you eating when you are there? Then it's end up costing them having to find food there, you know. At the same time, going back home, it's going to cost you 150 rands on the 250.
So that's just...
Can you imagine there's such a thing, where you go to work and you get 250 a week? Like, the level of desperation that you have to be in.
350. 150.
Okay, man.
So that means basically these people are
working to go back to work.
200. But 100 rand a week. And what can you do with that money, bro?
Yeah, they are working to go back to work, bro. That's what they're working for. They're literally working to go back to work.
That's a different form of slavery.
You know? Hence, you know, that's why I remember when we were talking about my business, I felt like the amounts of money that I am planning to pay people who are going to be working for me is way, way, way high than what they are paying people. Like, it's way, way high, actually. Literally. It's way high.
I don't think it even offers a standard of living. Can you imagine? What if some
It doesn't.
have kids?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Which probably most of them who have kids.
Exactly. That's why the people that's there are very old, JC. You know, the place where he's working, these are the places that's back in the days. I don't know your community because something is wrong somehow in your community. Because I've noticed goodness, we had like what we call like a community zone, like Ama zones. You know, actually, it's just that we didn't talk about it. But me and you, when we were in Newcastle, we passed that place so many times, actually. You know, so maybe it's also semi-14. People from Newcastle will know that. So
you told me.
I told yeah. So that place was like a zone basically of developments because we had in Akuza a factory there, whereby get tungwa basically. You know, so we had that factory like tungwa koni impahla. Abantu it was almost like a culture. Yabo madlala ibhola ntambama sibeka amatshe emgaqweni ngapha nangapha dlala uhampoli siyazi ngo6 nayo ke ibhasi uyayizwa siyaduma ihamba ideliver omama ecommunity ngaphakathi ibhasi ayingena ngaphakathi ihamba ilokishi manje nje umgaqo siyaba nje bus used to go in the hood and deliver omama endlini literally ihamba ingena kanjalo and then usizogijima sibamba amatshe esusa amatshe thiniza ibhasi idlule ibabeke. That's how we grew up. It was like a thing. Like we knew, like mama, all of them would work there growing up. Abu Baba worked at East Korea, and that was like the community thing. That's what made a life in the community, right? I don't know what happened exactly to that culture because it's no longer there. At least, let me not say it's no longer there. It's no longer as successful as it was, you know. Back in the days, it was successful because it was a thing. As much as Nakon, Baby Hall about 650, but 650 in 2001, 2002, it was better than Manja, of course, you know. Or worse, Manja, Jobasibe Hall about 350, it has even worse. But back then, they were getting that much anyway, you know. But it was better. But then now, those hubs are gone for the most part in most communities. They are not there. They don't function as they used to. Yeah, there's not as much money as they used to be, you know. And then this brings me to this point again when we were talking about South African economy. The idea that all of them, so weird. They say South Africa doesn't have a problem of money. We don't have a money problem. There is money. We have a lot of money, but the money never gets to what it's supposed to do. It doesn't reach its intended intentions in communities, which then sets communities behind. You know, you find people, generally the Saudi guy, who have you wouldn't know. You only go about what you see on the news and stuff. You know, he's being accused basically of stealing money from the government by tendering, you know, taking tenders and not finishing the contracts and what's not, or fulfilling the contracts rather and what's not. That's what they're accusing him of, you know. But that's all you know. But if you think about it, then you ask yourself then, because he's there, he's out. It's not like he's in court. You ask yourself like, so what's happening, you know? But only recently I heard that seems like something is happening, you know. JC Brahim, it's even hard to explain these things. It's like, okay, they show all these places where this guy hasn't done what he was hired to do, what's not, right? So why is he here? Like, why is he out? Like, you know, how is he just rocking?
Yeah.
It's a thing. It doesn't make sense. You know, to the point that Malema was making, for an example, with Kwede Mantashe. So Kwede Mantashe was accused of taking like cameras or something like that from, I forgot the name of the entity that he was working for, but from government. But then he took the camera system, the security system, and installed the security system, which is supposed to be a government property, in his property, and he's being accused of that. And he's like, oh yeah, I have the cameras. They came and installed them. Yeah, they are there in my place. Yeah, like it's like that. Like who's gonna?
It goes back to the same thing actually. I mean, it's a different situation, but it applies. People got the power. They're basically saying, yeah.
Yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, so we are in that space.
I think Futhi, the people who in politics now, they're so brazen that they're basically telling people in the face that they're doing shit.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that's gonna happen.
There's nothing that's gonna happen. Like they run shit. What are you gonna do about it? You know, it's like, yeah, it's like one of those. JC, how can you have an economy when you don't produce? And like now, South Africa, the only reason people are even breathing and getting these grants that they get, literally, is because we are eating money from the mines. Like we are eating money from the gold mines, the coal mine. Literally, South Africa survives from that. It's like we are selling the country. That's how we are surviving. We are not creating anything. We are selling the country because the country is the raw material, and that's how we only our main our economy is that, you know, we are selling the country. We are eating from, you know, all that money. We're not producing anything. Like something else I never even paid attention to. As Malema likes to raise, for an example, the idea that, bro, we don't even produce a box of match. I was like, damn. Jesus Christ, how terrible could we be? It's like matches, bro. We don't produce match. What the fuck is wrong with
How
that?
hard is it to make
Bruh,
a match?
he's like, toothpaste. Show me toothpaste. Not toothpaste.
And if you're like that, how many toothpastes do you see more from the shelf? People may be making their own toothpaste. Maybe you have a guy in his house right now coming up with a new toothpaste as a figure, trying to sell it to a store, whatever, and then someone's gonna start using the toothpaste. It's weird. Like it's the idea of, I don't know, the mentality of having to create something for yourself. I guess it's just.
But something also that you need to check. I noted it in the recent interview. Yes, there's this black woman that we need to find, but the next time maybe we're gonna talk about her. I forget her name. She has Candace Owens vibes. I don't want to talk about Candace. You know how I feel about her. We're still gonna get to her one day, but anyway, she has Candace Owens vibes. Like, it's that thing of rightfully critiquing Africa, rightfully, but then overlooking the reasons as to why we are there. I hate those type of people. Yeah, it's like they pretend like, yeah. So these women, what I like about her though, is some of the factual things that she, in critiquing Africa, that she talks about. So for an example, how many hurdles you have to jump to start a business in African countries. My man, I was like, damn, I'm a documents out 32. I'm a offices that you need to go to start a simple company for simple things. My man. Remember the black guy that we were talking about, the one who's producing paraffin and petrol and all that shit using plastic. How? What's happening with him now? Didn't they collect the nigga? How did you say that? You said that shit. There's two now, I told you. The recent one, on social media, on Instagram, people on Instagram, I produce this, I use this with like shows plastics and stuff like that. I use this type of plastic to make this type of gas and this. And then I go to comment section. The first comment says, this is my cousin, he has mental issues, don't believe anything he says, you know. I'm like, how this guy has mental issues. And then the same person must check my comments under him, who reply, so people are like, you know, about the baboos out, what? He replied to them like, sorry guys, I'm trying to get the fat off him. Bruh, I'm trying to get comment, sorry guys, I'm trying to get the fat off this nigga. And then other people are commenting under him. Like, nah guys, don't worry, the guest doesn't work. I just tried it now. He lives by my community. And then other people are supporting Lete show about actually I bought it too. It's not real, it was not and whatnot. Literally people are trying to throw the government off. But the guy, Malema says EFF though is sending Roma representative of the China to try and get him sorted in ngama lawyers nan. But we are collecting. They collected him. We spoke about it. We knew this was coming. And guess what? Somewhat now United States agencies are involved. We did say interview United States always does this. They see talent somewhere, something, they send agencies CIA to go and fetch that person. That's how they move. Now to talk somewhere as they are being involved is there those moves. And meanwhile Mzansi upilomchit but uboshiwa ngimanje South Africa. Uboshiwa palomchit. Uboshiwa. Cabanga ngibona ku interview amalomuthi omchit useyaboshwa le.
How can you?
My man,
That's a business waiting to happen where someone could be producing something. It's fine, but it's because it's a random person. It's not anybody that anybody knows, and they feel like they're not gonna get anything from it or whatever. I don't know. I don't understand. There's a potential business to happen where you could now be in a position where you're producing something, as you are saying.
My church is endangering the community. Illegal, what do they say? Illegal, what practice?
He's using waste.
You are bosh, man.
I don't understand. But then how do we get to a point where we begin to be more aware about all these things? I mean, it's not like people don't see what's happening, but at the same time, it's like they are blind. I mean, I always worry about this thing, goes back home. Everything is so focused on politics that everything else gets sidelined, and we're not progressing towards, getting the country to work, to get some more knowledge. Let's not focus on politics.
Okay, but let's go already here. That's the other problem. For example, what politics are we focused on? Because the South African, the population is not politically indoctrinated to understand themselves, like their political identity. South Africans don't have, I'm not talking, there are particular people who understand it well, who are into politics. Let's say, for an example, ANC people, EFF and them, the people who are into politics, who are doing politics. Mm-hmm. And then there is the youth, the one that we always talk about, the one that doesn't care about voting. There is millions of people who do not understand anything about politics. To them, politics is a t-shirt and going to the beach in Durban.
Yeah.
You understand? So then, when you're saying politics itself, what politics? South Africans we don't have the indoctrination to understand, the identity of our own politics now as a society, right? So, for an example, if you go to as I was talking to them, for example, in my community as we went home, people have no idea of concepts of capitalism. Bazutia capital, hey, can I tell that again? It's South African. But it's okay. Let's say, for example, capitalism. Yeah, but there's a word that they like to use now to categorize this thing. They're saying but very better what is like. It's like, hey, abelungu. Yeah, I don't know how to express this, but they have this. Narrow understanding. Oh, it's okay. Let's say you are a communist. Communism. What does it even mean to them? They do not understand the differentiation of what is a communist state. How does a communist state look like, or how would a communist state look like or work, right? Or how a capitalist state look like or work, or how does the combination of the two look like? You understand? You understand? Multi-capitalism, like, yeah, capital, yeah, beluga. But I understand it, like, if you, even if we were to create a black capitalist state, for example, how would it look like? You know, they don't have those, you know, like understanding of the fundamentals of what does it mean, you know. But Gubona is like, for an example, kuluma about the guy who was given a certain position, for example, in the like, okay, let me not name the organizations anyway, but in a community, was given a certain position in an organization, and the only thing he had to do, had some money, was all over, Ikesi, called all over, and he became like the president of the organization just because he did that. You understand? So they do not, you know, so you understand that those people are not in tune with like the identity of their politics.
The idea of what you're bringing is understanding politics in terms of, you know, like in an educational aspect, where it's, you know, you understand everything that's happening, the regulations, the rules, everything that makes what it is. But more that they have an understanding of it, like a face value, basically. It's like, you know, when there's a problem that's happening, nobody's going to look at how can we try. Sometimes they do. I mean, I'm not going to blame, because sometimes the community is able to fix some things. But they say the government have done that. So this is a political problem in a sense. It's those people. This person is going to fix this problem, and that's a political aspect that I'm talking about. Not in terms of how does actually this thing of politics work. Underline, what's the foundation? They
don't get that. But then now taking that to another step, South Africa, we don't have patriotism towards the country. We're not patriotic toward the country. Try talking to Chinese and hear. You know how defensive they get when they say you question your friends about something that is not maybe right or off. How, you know, those are people who are in tune with their interest and what's happening in their country. Like, they're in tune. Yes, but with disagreements, they have their own problems, but their thing.
But when you talk about relating to
their thing is like this. They know what they're doing. Their thing is here. You understand? There are things that a community. I said this when I was in South Africa, actually. Like, I remember Mkatko is relatively better than again, right? But as much in Akon, it's not better because we name Mkatko, that's it's even worse. To my brother, I'm like, okay, Mkatko is not that good. But all in honesty, some of the things doesn't necessarily need government to actually do something about it. If the community is dedicated and invested to the actual progress of the community, this is something men can wake up and do in the morning. I mean, literally amajisi ahlangane laphana ahlanganisa amatshe bahambe bawagqiba leza zinto bewashaya kanje amatshe bawaqonqothela, you could have a huge difference than what it is. Malinini izulu kunemgodi engaka kunjanjani, there could be a huge difference from what it is. But then the people themselves are passive. You understand? Because they only understand. So, for example, for you to be able to do that, to require political consciousness, to be conscious that you are doing this for the progress of your own community. You understand? So it doesn't even need government and what's not. But then when you talk or think politics, you think politics relatively to government and what's not. No, you consciously, as a member of a community, someone who is in a space of leadership in a community, you can make a difference. Some things that you can do yourself, actually, you know. And I was saying that to Zach and Yusimina. These are things, for an example, if you are saying, especially to him, the reason I'm saying this to him is because it's like, I feel like if you want to be in a leadership position, one of the main things you need to do is to conscientize the people. You need to politically conscientize the people, make people aware of things. You talk about dumpsters in the hood, in your hood, JC, for an example, right? There is always that dumping and stuff like that. Why? Why is there will always be that dumping? Because there is no culture of what else to do. Because the dumping is a culture now. Yeah, having to dump there, it's a culture that this is what we do. You understand? So if you want to change the dumping, for example, it will require a lot to change the culture. Yeah, but what's the good? There's no dumping here anymore. You understand? So those type of things that doesn't require it's just require the initiative from the actual people. You know, some of these things require the initiative from the people. It can't be that difficult. Not everything is that like complex, to be honest. And then there's water there, not. It's not. Doesn't even need to even wait for government to do. Literally, you can get up there and start doing the thing yourself and put on itlabati, amache and stuff like that to do that.
Some of the reason being, again, going back to people, that the people want to wait for someone who's going to pay them to do it.
Of course, but then not only that. True, of course, you will see Amapara what they do. For an example, when they start to close the gaps and pass the thing and ask, you know, that's what they do, right? But it's just a matter of, rather than someone paying them, it's a matter of, for me, I feel like it's much more on the matter of someone else has to do it. Or it's the responsibility of someone else, not me, because I'm not in the position to do it, or I'm not being paid to do it, most importantly.
Who's responsible for it? It's not
my responsibility. Someone else must be responsible. So the community is not conscientized. Hence, the Mlondi Ngubane tournaments that are going to be coming, that's going to be happening all the time in July.
How you deciding now it's Mlondi Ngubane? I thought you were running away from having your name splashed in it because of the sensitivity
and having my surname rather,
and the things that could happen to you as a person if it was under your name.
No, but there's nothing else could happen to me as a person.
Wasn't that what you were worried about in terms of what could happen politically? Oh, now there's a guy who's busy doing these things and he's putting a lot of money in it, and boom, the face is now on you.
No, but I don't live in South Africa though. I mean, I don't live there. I'm not gonna be there. It's not like I'm gonna be there working with. The reason though, I want to do this is, and I was thinking about another thing tomorrow actually. I want to make it bigger than like a tournament that I wanted to do. The tournament will be an aspect of it. Actually, it will be like a program that's gonna take 3 days or 2 days.
Alright.
So it's no longer gonna be a 1 day thing. I want like a 2-3 day program. That's gonna
that involves just football.
No, different thing. Yeah. So let's say first day was the football tournament, right? Second day was dance and singing. Not dance and singing. Maybe second day was singing, music, and then third day was dance and acting, theater.
So basically, you're bringing back the old ways that how your community used to.
But then.
Like, in terms of the things that used to happen, because I remember you.
Yeah, like, but then, that was like, you mean the arts and culture thing that would happen?
That would happen.
Yeah,
that would happen.
Yeah, but then, well, it wasn't big as what I want to do, of course, but they had that for specifically. We didn't have football though. We would have like, and it used to be in a hall, like in a community hall. It's literally not the same. Now that I'm thinking about it, but yeah, it's almost like that.
I'm talking about the vibe.
The culture
of it.
Yeah, actually, the culture of it, but it's much more of like theater. Actually, the inspiration of the thing is still the theater inspiration. The culture of Inakuza at the Hexagon Theater. That's the one that I want to bring in terms of the other one.
Well, at this time,
there's this
happening.
Yeah,
it's gonna constantly keep happening for years and years.
Yeah. So I want to do it and have it in a like a 3 day segments rather than 1 day. 1 day we're gonna come watch football and stuff like that, have a nice time. Second day we come again, this time maybe theater and dance this time, and then third day come again for something else. Yeah, so I want to bring that. I want to do that.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I want to bring, and it's gonna be in an open space. Actually, it's not even an indoor type of thing. I'm not looking to have them indoors.
Because there's also gonna be a whole lot of.
A whole lot of.
I guess it's just using the word politics.
About finding, but then also I don't think actually the venue would work for
If it's like a huge
yeah. I don't think
because it will limit the numbers of people who can
access. Yeah, and then because then also it's gonna be there. Oh, lens right there. Yeah. I wanted to put it here within the community. You know, I don't wanna pick something that says hall. No, it's over corner like within the community. So I want to do something like that. And from what the guys are saying, actually, seems like it's gonna be bigger than what I think. You know, after I told them. Yeah, and what the guys are saying, I see this is gonna be bigger. But then I think the football tournament, the reason starting with the football the most, it seems like it's gonna set
up the tune.
Yeah, it's gonna set up the tune, you know, the tone for what is gonna like what should be expected. Yeah, so that's what I want to do. Because the people are not. JC is because
these are the small things actually. Sometimes it takes one person
to start something.
And then it just happens. Jeez, I feel like we were watching something yesterday, and that same thought came to me. I don't know what we were watching, but how it takes one person to make a small change, and everybody else can just, I don't know.
Yeah, all of a sudden, fully off, and then maybe someone else end up doing something else because you started doing that. Exactly. That's where I'm going. I want to do something like that. You know, I want to do something like that. No, see, another thing, buddy. What I realize, people are not led, man. People are not led, JC, bruh. There isn't, bruh. Like, the people are not led. It's at least, though, maybe also there are other problems. Maybe let's create that. That's why you ended up all the fake ones being leaders and whatnot. That's why you have these problems. Because the real leaders don't want to deal with that. Can you imagine, bruh? Can you imagine the whole me, dog? Instead of living overseas and making money, I'm out there arguing with someone without metric about what should be done in the community. Do you know? It's because our politics are wrong. It's the whole thing. Can you imagine, bruh? You're arguing with someone without metric and shit, and this guy is being voted for, or you fighting for a vote for them, and you know all the things that you know, and you're sitting there like genuinely, and you're thinking to yourself, nigga, I could be overseas making my money, you know? Because can you imagine, let's say for an example, I decide that's okay, my life overseas is done, I'm done living overseas, I want to come back home and live in South Africa now I'm back in South Africa, and I'm trying to navigate that space, and I'm arguing and fighting with these niggas who don't know shit about what they're doing except that they want to eat money. Like, that's very tough, dog.
The whole experience is just going to waste.
It's going to waste. Yeah, you understand? That's very tough, dog. That's very tough. You know? So it's very tough, man. To me, when I see it like that, Jay, it's like...
But I guess, going back, the thing that you said, how this guy was able to put himself in the leadership position, it's knowing how to manipulate the community in terms of what they want for now. Because that's what they do. They give people what they want for now. As you know, when it comes to voting time, they start giving our people incentives, things that they will need for now, and then that sparks a little bit of hope, saying, "Oh, if they're giving this thing now, perhaps it might continue when you vote for them." And then boom, you give them the thing that they need, and then disappear.
Yeah.
Waiting again to come back after 4 years. Is it 4 years or 5 years?
Yeah.
So that's a routine. It's knowing how to manipulate the community in the right way. And these guys
have mastered that.
They're geniuses, basically. They know how to do it. And people are put in such a huge circle of that manipulation. They don't know how to get out. Except, of course, I don't know. Maybe the young people might be able to get out. I don't know.
Yeah, I worry the most though about the. Hence, I remember that someone was talking about that, like the context in which you are born. That it's not something that, for example, talking about the young people. It's like you are born into this world whereby there are already these. Let's say someone is. There are already these fights and stuff that you have no idea. You know, it's like, in all honesty, when I think about racism, for an example, as much as I understand, because we had our fair share, of course, here and there, but when we're chilling with our like, you know, friends from different races and stuff like that, we all chill, we all cool and stuff. It's like, we are good. Like,
cool. This is cool. Why do that? I love this guy. What?
Exactly, bro. Yes, you know what I was thinking now that you're saying that. So I'm chilling, there with our English friends. So I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, so you wanna tell me, these niggas that I'm chilling with right now, these English guys benefited from other things. Like, how the fuck, bro? How do you even console that? So, as I'm talking to you, David, so you guys, like, dog, how do you say that, dog? Like, what does it even mean? It's very hard, We play football with them, we love the guys, bro. We are together with these guys. Like, the implications that we come in, and also, they're just young as us, They come into the privilege of what their parents have won for them. And we come to the disadvantage of what our parents lost for us. And then now, it's like, we have to try and reconcile these sides and have these fights that we don't know how they started. Why did you let them? What you understand?
It's a navigation that we have to go through. But how long is it even gonna happen?
Yeah, man.
But I guess it's all because of all the consequences and everything that actually happened. As you are saying, in the background, it's still happening.
It does still happen.
And we don't know how to basically get out of it.
Yeah, it does continue. It's continue happening. It's a cycle and very hard because there are systems in place to keep it going. Yeah, hence what I was saying to you. It's happening. What the fuck you gonna do about it? Not a fucking thing. These are big boys playing, dog. There's nothing you can do.
They've laid the foundation.
It's a big boys.
I don't know even how you can try to. How do you try and dig up 100 years of history of this?
To try and correct that. Can't correct that, dog.
But if countries like Saudi Arabia that have been behind in life with so many things, I mean, of course, given the advantage that they have oil, but they've been behind the world in terms of what happened.
Yeah.
And now they're shooting up ahead from everyone with things that they're building and all these things, finance. And if it's possible for them, is it not possible for the rest of
Africa? But we have that. I heard something interesting. Did you know, for an example, platinum, Zimbabwe and South Africa are accountable for almost 85% of platinum in the world. Can you verify this, actually?
Jeez.
Because I heard this, actually, when I was watching an interview, and see how many, like for platinum, how much between Zimbabwe and South Africa. Because apparently between Zimbabwe and South Africa, they are accountable for 85% of platinum in the world.
Alright, let me see.
Platinum. And then
almost all of it, some 90% is located in the East Earth's crust of South Africa.
Yeah, almost all of it.
Far behind it, other major countries are Russia and Zimbabwe and United States and Canada. So basically 90%.
Yeah, of platinum.
Jeez.
Okay, now, you have a resource like that, right? That you are pretty much responsible for the whole world having it. Tell me, what's the problem then, JC?
God damn.
Yeah. So, we do have resources. But then again, JC, wait, buddy.
Oh my god. Platinum can be used for computers.
Of course. Yeah. Oh, my man.
LCD, spark plugs, pacemakers.
Yeah, exactly.
How the hell are we not?
JC.
Yeah, basically all these things basically are functioning because of this. And we have places that have dark conditions like this. Damn dog.
But needs it you see though. But then again, JC, what's the point of having the platinum? Because remember, buddy, what did I say in the beginning? South Africa doesn't have a problem of money. They've been saying it forever. We do not have a problem with money. Actually, as a matter of fact, we are ballers. We have it.
It's just a matter
of it doesn't get to it. So that's what they're saying.
I mean, it keeps coming back to the identity. How much money do you need to have as a person who says, I struggled, I deserve this money, a black person, like. But how much do you need to have? Like, okay, I'm fine now. Let me give it out to the community.
Or let me do what I'm supposed to do.
Let me help out.
I've stole the 5 million, guys. Okay. Let me use this hundreds.
They said I must build a park. Oh, let me get out a few 100,000 to build a park or whatever. Like, how much money do you need to have really? Guys, I don't know.
Because another problem, the other biggest problems, and issue government isn't they don't maintain them. They build something for public use and no maintenance,
just for that
nothing.
Time, okay, we did it. This is what you want, we did it. But can you keep it stable?
Can you hire someone to look after it? Can you? But again, what's the point of having all that platinum? Because mina ngisho nje, sema kusho lokhu ngathi but then njoba ngireason vusi platinum njoba kukhuluma ngo-oil wasenakhuze nje eMiddle East. Kube lo oil kubusemzansi. Ngabe kuyafana. What's different gonna make having that oil? Because ngabe kuyafana, what's different? Buka manje nje, didn't we find oil in Durban? There's no news now. I'm telling you, you'll find out later what's what trillion, what's what. My man, people can say I lost $1 billion. Like, $1 billion, bella, like literally, bro, $1 billion. That's what they do.
But I don't know. Now that thinking about it, I wonder how they did it. Yes, we can't do anything about it. But I wonder how the Middle East did it. What did they do? What had to be basically? What did they think?
Okay.
What was the mindset that made them look? Okay, guys, I feel like our shit is fucked up. We can make it better, and then boom, they made it better.
Political will and patriotism. That's what I would say. Political will and patriotism working together hand in hand. If you want things to work, JC, to a certain extent, you need a leadership that is decisive and that's going to be very patriotic to its own people. And I think that's the most successful thing in Chinese context. That's the most successful things. Chinese are killing it, bruh. But the reason they are killing it for the most part, by the way, I hear people saying there's no corruption here in China, never. They do have it, right? But it's standard. It's functionable. So here also the corruption is not the same like in SA. In South Africa, when you're talking about corruption, you're talking about someone taking 100 million and not doing shit. Here you're talking about someone doing it but letting his friend do it so that his friend can get the money and stuff like that. And then there's corruption. But the thing is literally done and completed. Yeah, do you see? It's very different standards, bro. Like, because here people still carry also the level of patriotism towards their country. In SA, we don't have it, JC. I will repeat, patriotism and political will. Why political will? Because the political will, this means you have an intention to make decision in a particular way. So, for an example, if you are saying you want to nationalize the mines, and then why are you nationalizing the mines? Maybe you're saying, which I currently had, this guy was saying, I always refer to Malem. I feel like it makes sense to me. Jesus Christ. The reason he said, for an example, you can subsidize education literally 100% with that only. Just me, not even all the maybe the gold mine only or a coal mine only. You can literally subsidize education. Like we need political will, whereby people are literally you just take steps and say, okay, this is what I'm doing now, and this is what we are doing. This is what is happening now. Literally that. Decisiveness, straightforward. And it's the other thing, by the way, when people talking about investors are going to leave and stuff like that. Let's say JC comes into government, someone who is going to cut short maybe a profit from 75% to 65 or to 60% as a business. Would you leave? Fuck no. As long as you are making money, you're still there. That's what. How many companies are saying they're going to leave China, American companies, because of the Chinese policies and whatnot? How many of them did they leave? Fuck no. Why? Because the incentive is just too great to leave. You are here in this country, this is well functioning, and they're producing these things cheap for you and stuff like that. You will fall. How could you leave? And how could you leave the possible business? Never. They know I make $1 billion in China. How could I leave? You can't leave, dog. So whatever they say, just a political will, bruh. Because we don't have leadership.
So we need that person or those people who will say, okay, if you're thinking of leaving, you can leave, but at the same time, they know they're not going to leave.
Because
it needs to be done.
Yeah.
And once it's done, it makes the whole thing better.
Yeah. You need to industrialize South Africa. We don't have industries anymore. Like, as I was saying with the thing that we used to have. You need to industrialize South Africa. You need to get a system that people can feed themselves. You can't just buy and sell the country. Because when you are buying food by selling the country. And then when you don't have the country, what are you going to sell? Let's say down the line in 100 years, lack of gold and whatnot. Then what? You don't have, because when you had the gold where you were supposed to subsidize and build your own things, you did it. Then what? So you need to be in a space whereby you have your own production running, your own produce running. So, for an example, we cannot be in a space whereby you need toothpaste from another country. You need box of match from another country. You can't produce your own clothes. The only clothes that you should care about coming from other countries are big brand clothes and stuff like that. But as far as a person like JC here who doesn't give a shit about that, nigga, produce clothes for me. Make me choose, dog. You know, I don't wear no Louis Vuitton. We don't care about Louis Vuitton and dog. Produce nice clothes here. Make designer clothes here. We buy that. We would buy that. You know, can you imagine stores like Mr. Price? You shouldn't be ordering clothes from any country in those type of stores. It should be within the country, 100%, not even 1% out of the country. Literally 100%, everything should be within the country. You don't have that, bro. We shouldn't have Colgate from any other country. We shouldn't have Mechisi from any country, from Norway. We shouldn't be in that space. Basics like that should be produced within your country. And then when we lack in a certain material, only then you can look outside. You don't have basics. You cannot even light a match. Nigga, you are in trouble, bro. So you need to industrialize South Africans. Now, you have millions that are unemployed. That's gold for another country.
To have people...
Nigga, people who don't have work.
That's where you can build the work.
That's where you can build the work, by industrializing the country. Because if you are able to set up a company that's going to produce match, this means you have this province that is producing match. Now you have these thousands of people who are employed. Yeah, because within there's so many things. Because even if you are producing, let's say you are producing match, so much comes from that. Because it's people who are making the match, people who are into packaging, people who are into logistics of delivering the thing, people who are into marketing, and there's so many jobs that come from those type of things. But then if you don't have it, then what? You know, and it pains me because in South Africa, another thing that pains me is that in South Africa, when South Africans, now celebrities, I'm gonna blame them for this, when they start businesses, the businesses usually are around something to drink. Everyone wanna sell alcohol. Everyone wanna like just come about producing toothpaste and match and what's not. Why don't you have a celebrity that is just, this is my Colgate, this is my match, this is the only thing that will sell is alcohol.
I guess they're promoting what is relevant and what can be bought at that time. But
then to the expense of the country.
I know.
Yeah, to the expense of the country, because those are the things that we should be using to push the country. Not to say it's wrong to produce alcohol, by the way, you can still do that. But then there are other things that are more important. Exactly. We can't all be doing alcohol brands. Are we all alcoholics now? You know, we can't all be making soft drinks brands. You know, we can't be all doing that. Good for the effects that they are able to do that. Good, and kudos, bruh. You know, and the fact that they also benefit South Africans too, because you know people like DJ Smooth would have bursaries from his Mofi and whatnot. Good, love that. You know, but then on the other stuff, you know.
Else?
Yeah, what else? You know, because again, let's not expect all these things that I just mentioned to be done by government. Yeah, understand. So we can't expect government to be doing that, you know. So what are we going to do, like Tina, ourselves, you know?
You have to have a start, man.
Yeah. Anyway, bro. Hey, let's hold it here, bro.
Hi, man.
Yeah. Fine. Sounds a bit.